Hello people, my name is Gene at Proinkshop.com. Today I'm going to make the ink system for the Neura label printer. The Neura label printer is the same as the HP OfficeJet Pro 476 576DW, but the Neura label company bought the license from HP and they modified to using it for the sticker label, the labels printing out. So they do have their own cartridge, but the exact looks same as the HP cartridge but different label. Most of the functions same as HP 576. But the cartridge doesn't work, doesn't compatible with regular HP cartridge. It only works on their cartridge, which is you have to have their cartridge to make the system. It's always better to have a setup cartridge for the ink system, or because the setup cartridge have no walls inside of the cartridge for the ink pad. So actually let me show you this. These are the setup cartridge. These are the regular cartridge. Setup cartridge comes together with the printer when you buy it, and usually make a holes on the right side so ink can go, like there's a wall on the between here after the cartridge, so ink goes in and then it follows path and then coming out here on this side right here. But the regular cartridge has the wall on it, so even though I make a hole on the right side, because we can't suck the ink out from through the ink hole because there's a wall on it. So I usually make a hole on the left side, but only fills up the half of it. So so it's not actually full. It has no problem to using it, but you may have more chance to get an ink cartridge depleted. Then when that happens, you have to sacrifice, remove the air again, and then reset the printer stuff. So yeah, so I'm gonna use this setup cartridge, and then I also have a regular cartridge. This I'm going to just refill the cartridge. I'll show you how to refill this cartridge. So let's put this on the side. All right. To make the ink system, you have to have ink reservoir, which is I'm using it's called a Titanic system. It's made in Korea, actually designed by Korean people and then made in China. The reason why I'm using this because most of my products ship out to the United States. Which I ship into USA. Or sometimes overseas, and some of the tube pack type like this. Oh, you can see it. The pack type ink system like this, or I can't bring it out, but it's all going inside. Some of them is a pack type. Those are leaking while traveling. So I can't, but there's not much difference between there. So I'm going to use this Titanic system. And for the ink, I'm going to use an Ink Tech pigment ink for the special made for HP OfficeJet Pro 576, which is 970 inks, 971 inks. these are the pigment ink, which is the same type of ink as what HP used. And there's a, but at the 576 printers and the model of the 576, 577 or 477, they are using same ink, but their print is pretty sensitive. It clogs very easily, and even though ink tag is pretty well made ink, they still clog. I mean, even HP ink clogs. You know, sometimes while if you keep on using it, it does clog. So I'm gonna add up some pigment ink. This I don't know how to say it in English, but it's kind of lubricated that if you mix it with the ink, it makes it more smoother, so less chance to have an ink clog. So I'm gonna add this liquid. It looks like just water, but it's not water. Okay, so I'm usually adding this up for 10 to 15%. The color may got a little lighter, or well, most of from my experience, it's not really getting lighter. Pretty much same, but some of customers saying, you know, the people who's in the design field, like clothing design or some, they're complain a little bit, but it's just, you know, as I see it, not much different. Okay, so to make the system, you have to, there's a air hole, air bleeder, air hole. So you have to put a glue on the air hole right here, the small holes right here. So I'm gonna turn the power on the glue gun. Now, so while it's heating up, let me just drill the hole in the cartridge. Like I mentioned, it's a cartridge. I make a half of it. The hole goes on the right side. So a colorway is the black. Let's see. I guess red and then blue and yellow. So I'm gonna do the hole. The right side from my point of view, the right side top, and gradually it goes down a little bit, because the tube, I don't think you can see it, but there's a gradually it goes down a little bit. So I know it's kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can get you guys more. Might be better. Okay, this looks better. Alright, so do the hole. When you do the hole, you have to do it straight. So you know your hole won't get like big. Do it be size like I don't know what size it is, but I do have a drill with here. So if you need it, you know, you can request actually. And let me see. So a little more down. on the cyan color, and move down on the magenta. And then a black. So holds like this: yellow, cyan, magenta, black. As you see, it's on the right side, top, lay down, down, down. And I'm gonna put the rubber packing in there. Small rubber packing, so you know it won't leak out when I connect with the ink system, ink reservoir. Well, I know it's very hard to see on your side. I'm just try to show you how to make the system made. You know, just so you can have idea when you have trouble to using this ink system or problem. You know, so you can use this video for repair it. I always recommend to order it through the professional person who can make the ink system, so they can make more accurate. I mean, think about it, using like bigger bottle of ink, putting in here, and you know you got like 4 liters ink in the system. If you made wrong, guess what? This all ink's gonna leak out into your printer, and it's gonna mess up your printer, and you're blowing your like $4,000-5,000 printers away. Boom, and then you're losing 5,000. So it's not a good idea to save like a few bucks or $100 or a couple $100, you know, making the system by your own. Alright, I put the rubber tip on here. As you see, there's rubber tips. And then the colorway is usually black, red, cyan, yellow. So, right, and then you have to measure. Okay. I've done so many times, so I know where to cut it, but you guys need to measure when you make the system. So. I mean, if you buy all empty system, it comes all together, all these accessories which that you need it to make a system, except the glue guns. It comes with the drill bits and stuff. But like I mentioned, I don't recommend to make by your own. I mean, if you have good hands, you can make it, yes. All right. Yeah, I'm in California here. It was raining last night. It's pretty cold and it's still freezing out here. I'm sorry the people live in the East Coast. You guys not saying it's cold, but I'm in the West Coast, so it's cold. It's about 50 degrees here. It is cold. Alright, just connect with the cartridge. And the lines, the tube, you have to put on the side of the black cartridge, because the if you just put it in like this, when the cartridge goes into the printhead, which is it goes down inside the printhead, and the line's gonna interrupt all this the carriage moving. So you gotta put on the side. It's called a metal clamp. The metal clamp, so you can wrap up the tubes. Let me see this. Alright, and I put the glue guns here because it's got 3M stickers, but it fell off easily. So, you know, I usually put glues here. And like I mentioned, we had to cover the air hose in front of the cartridge. I can better video if someone helped me taking, but everyone's went out for doing a customer service or installing a new printer. So I'm the only one staying in the office right now. So please be understand. All right, this tube wrapping up with this metal clamp like this. And now we're gonna put the ink in the cartridge. I mean the reservoir. Okay. Like I mentioned, usually, from my experience, ink taking, the black never clog. So I'm just gonna put some black in here as it is. There's a lot of different companies pigment ink, like OCP and American Ink, InkTech, Pulse Ink, and NDM Ink, InkMate. A lot of different type of ink, and there's a lot of non-brand pigment ink from China. One thing you have to be careful is, do not use unbrand or like the ink is made from China. I'm not saying the China part is all bad. Some of it's good, but the most pigment ink from China have too much sludge on it. From my experience, and then feedback from the customers. So it clogs right away. Even like refilling the cartridges, and just as far as you guys know, the refill cartridge selling on eBay and Amazon, mostly from China. And then from your neighbors and from your friend or whoever using a generic cartridge, you probably had a lot of complaint about it. Some stupid company putting a dye ink in there. The cartridge is supposed to use pigment ink, and and some companies really like cheap ink and for brothers and HPs, and it clogs the printer right away. And so I only seen one ink brand was good from China. One is from China. But I don't know which brand. I don't remember which brand it is. But anyway, what I mean is, ink is very important. Ink is very important. Just give me a second. I'm gonna have somebody. Hello. Hello.
You guys moving over here?
Yeah. I put the note on there. If you're not here, you can drop it off to B6.
Okay. Oh, right here. There you go.
Jig and Jig.
All right,
Thank you. Sorry, I have FedEx delivered. So what I mean is, ink is really important. Yes, I can find better ink, but it works usually in beginning, 1 month, couple months, 2 months, 3 months, and when the time goes, it makes a slot. The ink start getting smudged together, and then make it become like a mud, especially on pigment ink. So that's why I'm putting this lubricator, I mean, I don't know what to call that, this liquid in here, trying not to become a mud later, even later. And so what I mean is ink is really important. Okay, so another one. I'm an ink tech ink seller in the United States. Well, I'm not a distributor, but I do have most of I do carry ink tech ink in here. So if you any people needs ink tech ink, please contact. I can give you a wholesale. If you're a reseller, I can give you a wholesale price, and I can, you know, if you just retail, I mean, if you just consumer, I can give you a better price for this. Okay, anyway, all right. So about the ink. So. Well, some people say you're talking too much information, TMI. But I have to explain to you all this about ink and you know, the system, how to make it, how it works, so you can have a better idea when you have a trouble later, and you will find the why this happened, why that happened, you know. So I'm gonna put some ink in here. The black ink is good for 2 3 years, 4 5 years, but I'm still putting some of the liquid, just in case. I mean, it's not gonna make bad, so go ahead and check a little bit. And I'm gonna put the red one, which is magenta. The ink, the red, from my experience, it start become a mud after like 7 or 8 months. So I'm adding up like 10 to 15% of the liquid in here. Make sure we won't change to mud and plug the printhead. Oh, I gotta change this one. All right, so from the 1 to 10 to 50% is like 100 milliliter or 150 milliliter. So. And I'm gonna shake it. Shake it, make it like a cocktail. Shake it, baby. Shaking more because it had too much ink in there to shake well. The black size of the reservoir, the black is the like 1.5 liter, and the colors are like a liter. So black have a still a little bit space left, but just put a 1 liter in here because they usually sell like a 4 liter ink system. So I put all the colors are even. Just pour in as much as you can, but not all the way top to the head. So about this much is fine. Some ink left. And let's put the cyan. Cyans are okay too. So I'm just gonna add up like a 5%. I have to take some ink out to adding up the liquid. What I'm doing is I'm gonna explain to you about the printhead clogging. Some customers complaining or call me right away after they install their system. Said, "Hey, my print color doesn't print correctly, and this color doesn't print, that color doesn't print." You know, they telling me because of it's my system, or you know, some people saying, "I just put a new aftermarket cartridge, doesn't print right." Well, usually when you put the new ink cartridge in there, inside of the printer there's a printhead chamber that contained about the 570. They contained about 20 to 30 milliliters of the ink in there. So you still have the old ink left, and then when you put the new ink there, it goes in and it mixes together. But the chemical reaction, it doesn't occur right away. It takes some time to make a sludge and clog your printhead. So, you know, people who are complaining about the printhead clog right away, it's not because of the cartridge just put it in, because your print is already start getting bad because of the old ink, and that old ink already clogged your printhead before the cartridge installed. I mean, it makes sense if you install the cartridge and a couple weeks later, hey, this color doesn't work. Well, it makes sense, but still, it doesn't mean that my ink or either somebody ink is bad, because it can be bad under your old ink, or either it can be like, even though you use HB genuine ink cartridge, they usually make a chemical reaction when different brand ink mixed together. So it's your chance to using aftermarket ink instead of a genuine. People are using the aftermarket ink to try to save their money, but sometimes it ruins their printers, and they're losing their printers, $100, $200, or $600 printers. So I mean, me and my company are like testing the ink before we're selling it. We at least test like 6 months before we're selling it. I mean, there's nothing I can do for like chemical reaction with mixing some other company's ink. There's nothing I can do. But as far as I know, our InkTech ink is okay to mix up with HP genuine ink. It didn't make much trouble. So I mean, if you, just in case if you have a trouble on your color after you install the ink system, well, I'm not saying 100% it's not because of this. 99%, if that happens right away, it's 99.9% it's not because of this. It's because of your old ink. But we're still gonna help you to try solve that problem. I mean, there's not much thing I can do once this clogged. You have to change the printhead, or you have to assemble the printhead and clean the printhead. But the big size printers, like page wide and OfficeJet big size, it's pretty hard. So I don't recommend. I can refer the company who can change the printhead, but it costs like $400, and you gotta pay the shipping for that, back and forth. So once again, the ink is very important. So when you choose the ink, you have to choose the right ink. Alright, the yellow. This yellow is pretty bad. I mean, they start changing to mud after 5 to 6 months. I recommend, I asked the ink tech company that can you make them better. They said once it's recipe is done, I mean recipe is set, they can change it. So but I can't find the better ink than ink tech right now so far, so I'm just using it. But using it mixed with this liquid. The yellow is kind of like pretty bad, so I'm at like 15% here. No, not in here. I'm sorry. It's boring, huh? Too much talk and it's pretty slow. Sorry. Almost done. This day I'm start getting lonely because my boy is turning 13. He used to talk to me a lot. He doesn't talk much. And my wife always busy to take care of my boy, so I have not my chance to talk with my wife. The only chance I can talk is with the customer. So, and there's another reason. I'm getting old. The elders, like people getting old, start talking a lot because they're getting old. So young boys, people still young, take care of daddy, take care of grandpa. They're lonely. Okay. All right, so let me mix this. Shake it, baby. Boom. Alright. Okay, now I'm gonna remove the air from the cartridge. That means ink is gonna fill up this cartridge. So there's two ways you can do it. Using the syringe with like suction tips right here, or either using the suction machine for faster working. Before making this system by yourself, you have to use syringe. I'll show you how to use it. Cup the air bladder here, full, and then put the syringe straight down. There's a spring inside, so it goes a little down a little bit, and then keep on pull the air out. The ink is, you see that black ink is coming through. It's gonna take forever, so I'm gonna use the machine. Okay. Oh my god. So, okay. All right. Now it's done. cover close the hole. And there's a little air hose also, because I closed the air hose, so it's supposed to have an air hole here. I'm gonna close it right now, the plug, but let's say after you receive the ink system or after you made them all, or it comes with the air filters. You gotta put the air filters on here, 4 of them, and slide into the side of the print. There's a space. So let's put it in there and then install the cartridge. Once you install, it's gonna show you like a counterfeit or used cartridge installed. Just ignore the message, or like, maybe low ink or duplicate cartridge, whatever. Just press OK to resume printing it, and it's gonna stop printing. And if the cartridge is not depleted, no, it's gonna give you a message later. So once you get all the cartridge depleted message, it's not gonna show you any more cartridges. So I'm just gonna keep on printing it. I'm gonna load up another video for how to no, I'm not on this printer. Okay, the users Neura label printer. The Neura label recently like updating their programs a lot. I mean softwares. So sometimes like if your printer's updated, it's gonna kill the chip. It's not working it. But most of them are okay. So I do recommend to get an update on a Neura label software. So once you install this, that's it. Just if it asking you to update the software, just ignore it. It's not going to be much different. Just the updatings are like mostly like collecting your data. So and this system was gonna ship out to the company in the United States, who just request to make the system for it. So I'm gonna ship it out today. The company who relate with the Neura label, I am sorry to make this system, but the customers are asking, so I can't just ignore it. I'm making the system for them, so I'm just doing my job. So just don't get bad feeling to make this system. And I'm not against your company. I just do my job. Not many people requesting it, so you don't have to worry about it. So I'm just posting this video to let customer choose whether you stick on a genuine cartridge or either using an ink system. It's your choice. You may save some money on the ink system, or not a lot. I mean, this set of cartridges are like $500, and this ink system is $600. So I mean, it's about 10 times more ink contained in here. And then when you refill it, you just need $134. The color, each color is like $34. So you calculate it. I'll say about 95% you're gonna save it, more than that. But it's not gonna stay on forever. One day it's gonna clog your printhead, and you may need a new printer. So you have to calculate it carefully which one is better. I don't know, Neura label, the HP cartridge or Neura label cartridge, it's still gonna clog your printhead, but they're gonna take care of it within a year. And after that, they're probably gonna charge you to fix your printer, but still you can repair your printer if you don't stick on the genuine cartridge. So it's your choice. So ink systems are always your choice. Okay, I can't say which one is good, but as a manufacturer of the ink system. Well, yes, my ink systems are good. I mean, my skills are good to make the ink system. So, alright, that's about it. If you have any question, you can email it to sales@Proinkshop.com, or you can call me. But I'm pretty much not answering the phone calls. Just text me 909-815-6681. Then I'm returning your phone call. If anyone wants to order, send me the email at sales@Proinkshop.com. You have to have your own set of cartridge or your own set of cartridge. You have to send it to me, so I make system for you. It's $600 to make the system, and I do give you a 1-year warranty on the system. Not the printhead clogging, but whatever. And I mean, as long as you stick on our ink, I'm still giving you the tech support even a few years later, and providing all the tools that you need to repair later. So thank you very much, and well, that's our code. Take care of yourself, okay? Bye.